Guys, this is the picture this morning. I'm here on Sepulveda Boulevard. Right over here, this is the 405 freeway. This is the morning commute. Firefighters telling us that part of the reason they decided to keep the 405 open this morning was to aid with evacuation orders so that people could get out. And at this point, we heard from Mayor Eric Garcetti earlier this morning. If you're just waking up, he said, feel free to go to work. You can use the Sepulveda Pass still at this point, but this is what you'll see at a hillside completely lined with flames. You can see that billowing smoke, and we've seen multiple firefighters overhead. I have not seen any water drops on that ridge at this point, but we've seen several firefighters on the road. In fact, first responders, they're passing us right now. They're heading back towards one of the command centers that they have set up here on the exit of Getty Drive. We're also starting to see traffic back up a little bit on the 405. A lot of this is going to be looky-loos. Another thing we heard from the mayor this morning, telling people that please, if you are going to be driving through this way, do not pull over, do not slow down, keep your eyes on the road. Of course, it's distracting when you're trying to go to work and you see this behind you. Oh, here's another helicopter we're seeing right now flying overhead. I was watching to see if we saw any kind of there we go. We see a water drop right here on this spot on the ridge. So they are attacking this from the air. As you heard Giselle mention, they have to wait until daylight until they can get the fixed wing aircrafts over here. But we have seen several helicopters overhead, those from the fire department, and they are delivering those very targeted water drops. And as you can hear, we're also seeing emergency first responders using the freeway this morning to get to and from the fire. So that's something you want to keep in mind too if you're going to be heading this direction.
Fighting efforts in Brentwood. Kate?
Giselle, I'm on Tiger Tail Road. This is the north end of the street if you're familiar with Brentwood, and I'm soaking wet. That is how many firefighters are here. They tell me they've lost about a dozen homes. You can see this one still smoldering. A firefighter actually just stopped out of here, and we'll keep walking up the street. You can see the entire ground is just saturated. We have two firefighters over here that are still spraying the structure that we just had a flare up a couple minutes ago. I mean, there's so many firefighters attacking the fire here. It almost feels like we're creating our own kind of rain shower here. The ground is completely drenched. The air is still filled thick with smoke. We've seen helicopters overhead, but no water drops at this point. Here, let's walk in this direction. You can see these two firefighters. They're spraying water from hoses on this home right across the street. Maybe it's hard to see from our cameras, but this house is on fire. It kind of has this big facade out front, so you can't see so much. Again, this is Tiger Tail Road, the north end of the street. One firefighter just told me he estimates they've already lost about a dozen homes up here at this point, and now they're just trying to get the fire out. But we have felt some wind before they started this soaking. I had seen some embers kind of floating around in the sky, but they are just staying so heavily right now trying to get this fire out. Of course, I don't want this spreading anymore, but I can count just from here 1, 2, 3, 4 homes affected by this fire. These firefighters still in the thick of it right now, trying to get the fire out as quickly as they can. Giselle?
Yeah, and Kate, this is the first we're hearing beyond. If all morning long before daybreak we were told it was 2 homes damaged. Now you're telling us as many as 12 on Tiger Tail Road, which is, off of Sunset Boulevard, off of Kester. These are multi-million-dollar homes here that are being destroyed. What are firefighters telling you, Kate, about what their biggest challenge is right now?
Well, right now, all the firefighters around me, they're thick in the fight. I mean, right now at this point, they're just trying to stop the fire from spreading, to put out the fire that's already on these homes. You can see these guys up here right now. They're taking a minute just to kind of reload, and now they're hitting it again. And as we were driving through Brentwood, it's so eerie right now. The more north you get, the more the streets are filled with smoke. There's no power. We saw people slowly starting to evacuate and having no idea what was happening up here at the hill, because this is a higher elevation than most of Brentwood, right? Sunset Boulevard is down there. So you really didn't get to see how intense it was up here until we really started driving up the road. And then that's when we were really face to face with it at this point.